So it's like, I'd love to scream at people. It's Holly. I'll do it all day long.
So when you're going into studio, how do you prepare? Do you have rituals? Do you have a particular dress code you insist on when you're going into studio?
Well, everyone says, oh, you can go to work in your pajamas. But I guarantee you the day that you look like poop, they're like, oh, we forgot to tell you, Access Hollywood's coming today. And you're like, oh, great. If I have a song to sing, I do vocal warm-ups. I always recommend people that wanted to get into voiceover to take singing lessons so you can learn what your voice can do. And I'll learn the song if it's something advanced. If it's not something I have to prepare to in great length, sometimes I don't even get the script in advance. Sometimes we do. And it's nice now because all the storyboards are on computer. Used to be that they used to give us like big giant storyboards of paper, but now they can email it to you, which is great. So if we get a chance to read those, we do. And otherwise, the only other ritual I have is I usually have like 3 different kinds of drinks. Like I'll have something warm, something bubbly. I don't know. I'm like really weird about having enough drinks to choose from.
So I'm asking for a friend of mine who actually works in animation, honestly, and he wants to know, what's your time frame from the time you're approached about a project to the time you're actually getting into studio to record?
Well, it's always different. You know, sometimes you don't hear for a year and they say, oh, we're going to do that pilot you tried out for. It's like, oh, I thought I didn't get that. And sometimes they're like, can you just read this real quick? They need to do it today. So there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, a regular series, you usually have to do a callback process, and that can take a few weeks from the time you audition to the time you do it.
So would you consider yourself a bit of a workaholic, or would you think you're more of a picky kind of actor when it comes to deciding on the roles you want for your career?
I mean, I'm not too picky, but I obviously won't do anything too offensive. Like there was this cartoon that was making fun of ISIS, and I thought that's probably not a good idea because they can find me. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not so much a workaholic because I like, you know, I'm like, money people that are crazy. Like I love my job so much that I don't even think of it as work. Like I just get paid to be silly and have fun all day, and then the result of this is I get to meet fans and go all over the world, and it's very rewarding.
So obviously you mentioned, you know, you do a lot of work in studio. I mean, do you find that you enjoy working with people in like a group recording, or do you prefer just to do it on your own, get the work done?
So whenever we do video games, we do them alone, and also like feature films we do alone, and it's always more fun to play off the other actors, because if someone says, let's get out of here, you might go, okay, and kind of make fun of how they did it, and after a while you get pretty used to how the actors are going to do it. Like for instance, for the Teen Titans Go movie, like I knew pretty much exactly how everyone was going to do their lines, but it's always more fun and collaborative to be with the other actors.
So would it be something that you like working with particular actors, or do you like constantly having a new turnover of
No, it's really a very small world. It's hard to break in. I see the same people everywhere I go. In fact, I still work with Cree, who was on Hello Kitty with me when I was 13. Cree is probably one of my best friends in the business, but everybody's so nice. I love when I get to work with Maurice, or, I mean, John DiMaggio. I mean, there's nobody like, you know, go, oh, I really hate that voice actor. Like, everyone's just so nice. It's a treat to go to work every single day.
Well, you mentioned, obviously, it's quite a small community of voice actors. Is it a difficult area to break into?
Very difficult. I hear people all the time saying that they want to get into voiceover, and especially like people say, oh, people say I have a good voice, should I try? I'm like, no. It's not about having a strange voice, it's about your acting abilities, and I always recommend to take as many acting classes as you can, singing lessons, scene study, to learn what you're capable of doing, and then you have to get yourself a good agent, and then you have to book jobs, and it's very, very hard. But my big thing is I tell people never ever pay to audition. I'm sure some of you have seen this online now where they charge hopeful actors, and I think that's so disgusting, and nobody I know in my business made it because they had to pay. So if there's any hopefuls here, promise me you'll never pay to audition, because that's no bueno.
Well, just last night DC was talking about he's turned down work like anime work in favor of doing like a commercial in Oklahoma for a hardware store. Is there any particular areas of work that you prefer working in, or areas that you really hate doing just because of the kind of work you're going to get or the experience you're going to have?
I mean, I'm pretty happy doing most things. The most vocally challenging might be if you're dubbing something from another country, because then you have to match the lip flaps as well as put your own acting in there. So that can be more tedious than original work. But there's nothing that I don't like to do.
And then you mentioned obviously working for other countries. I know you did some work on for Studio Ghibli back in the past. How was that for working for obviously such a major producer of animation, and what was the work experience like for working with that?
For which one?
For Studio Ghibli. Spirited Away.
Oh, Spirited Away. Usually people say for Miyazaki. I love that so much. Spirited Away was a huge film. I mean, any of his films are huge. And there's a lot of fans for that stuff. And again, it was more challenging because it was done in another language, although the baby Bo was, more just my annoying baby voice.
You've obviously mentioned in the past that there's certain characters that are, I suppose, closer to yourself. You mentioned that, say, for example, Batgirl is probably closer to your natural voice. Is there any that, even when it's a difficult job to do, that you enjoy doing more, like you said with Harley Quinn, just kind of getting to vent? Is there anything that really just kind of gives you a chance to really kind of let go when you're doing voice acting?
Well, I really do love most of my characters. Probably the craziest is Harley, but I get to go pretty crazy sometimes as Twilight. And I loved playing Bubbles. That was fun. And I had a lot of freedom with Timmy Turner. We got to improvise quite a bit on that show. So.
Would you be somebody who's into a lot of improv? I mean, it's something you do a lot of?
Yeah, I used to do Second City back in Toronto, and those improv skills really help, because sometimes you'll be in the studio and they'll say, can you give us an extra character? Can there be a boy or girl? Can they be from Ireland? Can they be from the South? Can they, so being able to improvise and do different characters, and a lot of times there's something called group walla, which is like, the crowd is excited or the crowd's upset or the crowd's mad. So you, as an improv artist, you get to learn how to think on your feet and give funny lines or appropriate lines just without worrying about it.
You've obviously got improv skills. Do you find that you corpse a lot when you're doing any funny dialogue? I mean, or is it something you can always kind of keep it together? You don't break character because something's just so funny. You break character laughing.
Oh, I've never heard that. Corpse.
It's a word.
Like for us, it means dead person. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only vocally challenging role I did probably was Terrence from Foster's Home. Because everything was down here all the time. You're such a nerd, Blueface. Like all the time. So that was kind of challenging.
And what would be probably the most emotional role you've had, where in the really kind of just a scene that really just, I suppose, forced you to break character because, it was just so emotional? There's
been a few. I really cried when the Joker died. Spoiler alert, but if you don't know that, then you shouldn't be in this panel. I really cried as Harley when the Joker died. And I loved the Killing Joke so much. That was, I thought beautiful acting all the way around. I kind of broke character when I first did The Little Mermaid 2 because I was such a big fan of Jodie Benson, and I was crying, looking at her and singing in the studio, but those are probably the most emotional ones.
Now, you've obviously mentioned Harley Quinn. I can see there's a few Harley Quinns in the audience here. What do you think is the appeal of the character, having played it, and what do you think of the character's evolution over the years from essentially a groupie for the Joker all the way to this fourth wall breaking riot girl that's, people are dressing up at a Comic Con?
I think she's so lovable because she's so vulnerable and she wants to love and be loved so bad, but she's also so crazy and psychotic, and I think we've all kind of felt part of Harley, and the fact that she just unabashedly goes out and does whatever she wants to do and acts crazy, and maybe sometimes she kills people, that's okay too. And she just loves Joker so much, this undying love, and her character's grown so much as she's become stronger and more independent and starting to stand up for herself. When I first was working alongside Arlene, and you'd see her being very timid beside the Joker, but now she kicks all kinds of ass all over the place, So.
Obviously, you've done some scenes with Mark Hamill. I think you've said he's the Joker.
Oh, he is the Joker.
So I don't know. He was in Ireland recently because obviously he was filming The Last Jedi, and he was the guest of honor at the Paddy's Day Parade. I'm not sure he actually left. I think he's probably still floating around here somewhere. Do you think you're ever going to get a chance to do another Harley Joker scene with him?
I hope so. I don't think he's ready to hang up his Joker suit just yet. I mean, I hear that he might, but we have a lot of fun when we do that, so I'm sure he would take another opportunity.
So you've obviously worked with pretty much everyone. I looked at your IMDb page, and it's I couldn't even count how many entries there are in there. So I mean, you've obviously worked on DC, you've worked for stuff for Marvel, you've worked on computer games. is there any franchises that you wanted to be part of, maybe haven't gotten a chance to be part of, or is there any that you kind of maybe hoping if they're paying attention now, they might say, "Oh, right, we're going to hire Tara now."
I've never done a Simpsons, so that would be fun. I mean, I wish I had booked that character when they were casting it, but I wasn't in town yet. That's a very good paycheck. Those guys get a lot of monies.
So, you obviously do a lot of kids shows, and then you've obviously got some of the more mature stuff. You mentioned obviously the ISIS cartoon you didn't really feel up for doing.
Let's not get our family killed to do a cartoon.
Do you find there's a bit of a change when you're going in to record, say, a more mature role, like obviously like Drawn Together, as compared to doing like a kids show? Is it a bit of a palate cleanser?
Well, it's so funny. My mother-in-law was visiting me, and I was doing the Rugrats, and she came with me to a taping, and then we were going straight to a Drawn Together. And I said, just so you know, these are two really different shows. But because I do so much kid stuff, to get in a booth and swear and do all kinds of crazy stuff was fun. And it's certainly fun to mix it up so you're not always doing the same thing.
Perfect. Okay, well, have you any major projects you'd like to maybe spoil for?
Do you guys have Unikitty here yet? Yeah, Unikitty's really cute. That's coming out. The Teen Titans Go movie is coming out soon, which is really funny. There's some great music and fun guest stars in that. The new Ben 10 series. Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, let's open the floor up for questions. So if you want to, need a flunky for this. Oh, thank you.
Hi Tara, how's it going?
Great.
Grand. In the voice of Twilight Sparkles, how would she describe her visit to Ireland to Princess Celestia?
Dear Princess Celestia, I've had amazing adventures in Ireland. I saw the cliffs of Moher, and I wanted to fly everywhere, but I didn't want to scare anyone, but I didn't want to be tardy for the con! I really want to see the rest of Ireland, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time because I don't want to be tardy for the next day of the con! But I've had a really great time, and the people here are so nice. And please, can I come back and maybe bring the main six? Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkles.
Hi, can you do an Irish accent? And will you do one for us now?
Didn't you guys see Jakers? I played Dan and the Duck. There was a girl on the airplane, she said, "You're not really Irish." I said, "No."
It's the only role that I personally have been nominated for an Emmy. Yeah, I've been many shows have been nominated, but Dan and the Duck got an Emmy nom.
Hi. Hi. So of all the characters you've ever voiced, which was the closest to your own and the easiest to do?
Probably Batgirl.
Good Cosmo and Wanda costume. Stand up so everyone can see you.
Hi Tara. What do you think of Teen Titans Go being pretty well received by kids, but not so well received by adults?
That's not true, is it? Oh my god, we get so much hate mail on Twitter. Tell the producers to die. No, I mean, at first I was surprised because when we heard we were getting a Titans pickup, I was really excited for season 6 because I thought it ended at such a pivotal story arc, and I wanted to know what was going to happen with Trigon. And so when I first saw the little characters, I thought, OMG, people are going to be really pissed off. And but you know what? I actually really like doing it. We have so much fun, and I'm grateful that they kept us all together. Had they recast people, because sometimes they do that, then it wouldn't be as wonderful. And I'm sure they'll go back to the other one too. So the way I look at it is it's a totally different show. It's just funny and silly, and if you want to kind of turn your brain off and have a laugh, you watch Teen Titans Go, and hopefully they'll pick up another of the regular Titans too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. So, with so many, as much fun and love as you have for a character, does there ever come a point where you just feel, I've accomplished all I can for that character, onwards to the next?
No, I don't think so. You know, once you create a character, they live in your brain, and when it's their turn to come down and play, they just do, and I can't really describe it, but it's sort of a skill set that voice actors have, and they never mix them up, and they really sort of exist in our brains. We're actually quite crazy. And that's why it's hard when they replace you with someone else, because you feel like that's your kid, like that you're very attached to that character. Like we never go, oh, I really don't want to do Twilight anymore. It's very, very rare. I mean, if you ever see someone recast as a voice actor, I guarantee you it wasn't because of money. No one says, that's not enough money for me, I won't do that character anymore. They really and truly love their job and they want to keep doing it. It's often a studio choice that they say, oh, we just want to try new voices or try something else. And it's kind of heartbreaking, but it is part of the business.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tara. So an aspiring actor like myself who wants to get into voice acting, what do I need to do to pursue that?
Well, if anyone else is interested, get your phones out and put down the name D. It's D-E-E. Second name is Baker, B-A-K-E-R. And he has a free website with everything you need to know about getting into voiceover, so you can go back and reference it. But like I said, I always tell people to take as many acting classes as they can, scene study, improv, singing lessons, to really learn the different characters that you can do, and practice, record yourself doing different voices. And then if you can find a good voiceover class where you live, where they actually have studio time, that's good too. And like I said, never ever pay to audition. Once you're ready to make a demo, then you can submit it to your local agencies, and then they'll send you out for auditions. And then if you book that part, then you pay your agency a percentage of that. So it's kind of a long process, but if it's really in your heart, you should go for it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tara.
Hi.
I'm Lara. Who's your favorite pony from My Little Pony?
Who's your favorite pony? Careful. Who do you love?
You and Rainbow Dash.
Okay, good answer.
I also love Rainbow Dash, and I also love Pinkie Pie, and I also love Rarity, and I also love Applejack. I really love Derpy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Tara.
Hi.
Out of all the voices you've done, which one is like your favorite that you really like doing?
Well, like I said, I always say I love doing the Mermaid too, because that was like dream come true to work with her. But I had so much fun doing Powerpuff Girls, Fairly Odd Parents, and I still have a lot of fun doing Teen Titans. Those are probably the most fun jobs that I do.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Tara.
Hi.
Nice. What's it like for you working with Scott Manville, Carrie Payton, Hinton Walsh, and Greg Sipes on Teen Titans Go?
Well, we really, really, truly love each other. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you'll see how much we love each other, maybe a little inappropriately sometimes. But we're a family. We've been together for probably 16 years, 17 years. I was pregnant, I think, when I first started doing Teen Titans. So we've become a family. We really, truly love each other. We look forward to those sessions very much. We usually do them every Friday for 4 hours. And we just have such a great time. We all see each other get married and have babies, and seen Kari take off on The Walking Dead, and we just have a lot of fun together.
That's it.
Hi.
Hi.
Whenever you're doing a voice, have you ever accidentally slipped into a different character by accident when you were doing it?
Yeah, what was I just doing recently? It was Ben 10, and I was playing Ben as well as a girl character, and like, I just, I don't know, like right in the middle, I mixed up the two of them. I'm like, wait. But usually we do two back to back all the time. You don't get too mixed up. But in the same show, sometimes if it's a character you don't usually play, like because I'm used to seeing Ben on the script, I read her part as Ben. I'm like, wait. So sometimes it happens.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
What's your favorite voice that you've done very recently?
I really like doing Unikitty. It's
like
really funny. Have you seen it?
I'll watch it.
Yeah. She's cute. That's fun. She's crazy.
Thanks.
Hello, Tara.
Hi.
Can you do the Raven spell for me, please?
Azra Metrion Zinthos.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm just wondering, have you ever found yourself in everyday life accidentally slipping into character? While having like an argument with someone or, you know, doing your shopping and gone, oh no, like...
My best friend Roxanne's here. Raise your hand, Roxy. Do I break into voices?
All the time.
All the time.
Every minute of the day.
Yeah, every minute. And I'm kind of a sponge. Like when I'm with my British friends, I'm British. I've done quite a bit of Irish. I'm sure I'm driving my friends crazy. Yeah, I do it all the time. And sometimes it's very helpful. Like, you know, can I have my money? Isn't as nice as like, can I please have back the money that I gave you? And I really like messing with telemarketers. She's watched that a couple times.
Hello? Nobody's here. I'm all by myself.
Sometimes people keep going. Like, do you like to change your cable company? And I just go like, you guys send me lollipops? Like, if they keep going, I'll keep going.
We met earlier.
Yes.
Do you ever think of playing Harley Quinn in a real live-action movie?
I think that'd be so fun. I think that'd be really fun. But I think Margot does a great job, too. She's awfully gorgeous.
I think that you'd be very good at it.
Thank you. That'd be fun. Well, when they're doing the next Harley movie, I said that they should have like a little, like maybe we could be at a restaurant, me and Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, just like at a diner. I thought that'd be kind of funny.
Hello. Could you describe your experience of Ireland as Harley Quinn?
Well, let's see. I took a plane, I fell asleep, and I woke up and I was in Ireland. And everybody was really nice, and I took a really long car ride to Dromoleons. It was really nice. And I stayed in a castle, but Mr. J wasn't there, so I had a few other puddings. And then I went to see some big old cliffs, and I was like, wow, I could push Bat Brain down that cliff. And then I walked around a little bit, I went inside these caves, and it was a little claustrophobic. But I was alright. And then, what else did we do? We saw that weird tomb thing. What was that? It looked like Stonehenge, but smaller.